On January 29, 2011, we held a party and invited some friends who were underage.
Later, 5 of them drove off together.
That was the last time we saw them.
The accident happened within a mile of the party.
The driver lost control of the car and slammed into a tree.
3 of the 5 died.
Not only were young lives lost, but we were ordered to jail for 120 days.
We each had to pay about $2,000 in fines.
And served 240 hours of community service.
But that was just us. Of course, 3 families had to deal with the pain and suffering of losing a loved one.
We didn't do our part to prevent underage drinking.
A clear message needs to be sent to everyone over the age of 21 that it's never okay to provide alcohol to minors.
We know that now, but we wish we would have gotten that message earlier.
Please, do your part to prevent underage drinking.
Alcohol use by persons under the age of 21 is a major public health problem. It is the most commonly used and abused drug among youth in the United States, more so than tobacco and other illicit drugs. The 2009 Michigan Youth Risk Behavior Survey for 9th through 12th graders in public schools reports that 69% of these students had at least one alcoholic drink during their lifetime, increasing to 77% for 12th graders. 35% of these Michigan high school seniors report binge drinking in the last 30 days. Of youth who drink, 51% report they get alcohol from another person. Either someone gave it to them, or the youth gave money to someone else to purchase the alcohol for them. This could be an older friend, a sibling, a cousin, anyone. Underage drinking only happens because adults let it happen. In this video, you'll see how people all across Michigan are doing their part to prevent underage drinking. And I hope it will inspire you to do your part as well.
.86% of Michigan youth who drink report doing so in their own or someone else's home. There's no way to know for sure if my kids are making the right decisions, but I'm doing what I can to let them know drinking is not acceptable behavior. I set clear rules and share my standards with family members and the parents of my child's friends to help ensure their safety when they're away. As a parent, make it clear to your child that drinking is not acceptable. Tell them I do not want you drinking until you're 21. I do my part. Please, do your part too.
While most studies show that school is one of the last places where teens use alcohol in Michigan, I can still do my part to prevent underage drinking on the weekend and throughout the summer. Sometimes I hear conversations about parties and alcohol use. Allowing students to glorify their illegal activity should not be tolerated in the classroom. Do your part. Make it a rule that bragging sessions about parties, underage drinking, and other unhealthy behaviors will not be tolerated in your classroom. I do my part. Please do your part too.
Studies have shown that high school student athletes are at a greater risk for alcohol use. Our season may only be a few months long, but I can still do my part to make sure my team understands I expect them not to use alcohol. I set rules necessary to be a part of my team, and I make sure my student athletes know the consequences of using alcohol. Make your team rules known, enforce them consistently, and don't make exceptions for your favorite players or the most talented. If someone breaks the rules, hold them accountable. I do my part, please do your part too.
Did you know children who drink before age 15 are 7 times more likely to abuse alcohol or to have alcohol problems as adults?
When I issue a violation for a minor in possession, it's usually the first time the minor was caught, not the first time they were drinking.
As officers, we have a responsibility to do our part by enforcing underage drinking laws consistently and swiftly.
And we look at issuing minor possession tickets as an opportunity to give the minor the help they may need.
We do our part.
Please do your part too.
Last year, 85% of Michigan retailers passed Liquor Commission compliance checks, but there were still almost 1,000 of them that were charged with selling or furnishing alcohol to minors. Fines and liquor license suspensions affect my bottom line, and the risk of selling a case of beer or a single bottle to a minor just isn't worth the potential consequences. My staff and I have all been trained so that we do not sell alcohol to people who should not have it. We know how to recognize false identification and what to do when we see them. I do my part. Please, do your part too.
As you can see, people across Michigan are doing their part to prevent underage drinking. Parents, teachers, coaches, retailers, law enforcement, doctors, as well as older siblings and friends. We all have to do our part. Now it's time for you to do yours. To prevent underage drinking and keep Michigan safe, do your part.